earliest memories of music, I guess it would be a video. It's a memory, but it was a video that I had seen for my parents when I was about, I don't know, like 1 year old, maybe 1.5. I couldn't even really walk yet. And they were blasting good old Kenny Loggins over the speakers. And I had crawled to the speaker and I had pulled myself up on it and was standing there, and I was just like grooving to this, like the bass line of this one song. I guess the first musician that inspired me would be John Mayer. I remember being at a friend's house around 2000. I was pretty young. I was 9 years old, and Room for Squares, the album came out, and I remember seeing on MTV the No Such Thing video, and it was like, he had an acoustic guitar and he was singing, and I just remember saying, oh my gosh, I mean, who is that guy? His music sounds so different than anything I had heard. And I just fell in love with his songs. Always looked up to him and was inspired by his guitar playing, and his lyrics, I think, are some of the best of our generation for sure. So he was a humongous influence on me. So I had been playing music, since I was 6 years old, like piano and then fooling around with guitar. And I had always loved it, but I was never like serious. I wanted to play football. I wanted to go to college to play football and potentially maybe be in the NFL. And my freshman year of high school playing football, I broke my arm blocking a field goal. It was a bad break. It was in 2 spots, and so I was really out of commission, and I was in a cast up to my bicep, like an L-shaped cast. And so I had a lot of free time, and I was thinking about how much I really loved music, and how, through this I wanted to get better. I just wanted to become a great player. So in that hardship of sitting out of my dream, I realized what I really was passionate about, and it was not football, it was music. So in high school, after I broke my arm in football, I started to drop out of some sports. I was doing football, wrestling, and track, and that was every season basically. And I had an opportunity to do something that was called BOCES, which is the trade school. It had an audio production program, and so I was like, man, that's something I'd really be into. I was always wondering how to learn about that stuff, and so I went and I learned the basics of audio engineering and recording, and I knew through that this was going to be like my life's calling. I felt like God had told me to do this, because I had wanted to be a history teacher for most of my life, and then which one day I woke up and was like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. And so I had my heart set on going to Malone University in Nashville, and I was just working very hard to get in, and I applied. I went down there and visited, and I loved it. They had amazing stuff, amazing equipment, and I didn't get accepted, and so I was like, man, God, I thought you were telling me to go down there right now, like this is what I feel like I need to be in Nashville. And so through that, I had like a lot of downtime. I had found this college in Illinois called Greenville College, and they had a really cool audio program. So I went out there, and I felt such a peace about it, and they had a good program. I'm just super glad that I followed my heart in that. I met the best friends of my life there. I got a lot better at music. I actually got my job through that. Because I work at a recording studio called the Magic Shop in Manhattan. It's a world-renowned studio, and the studio manager is from Illinois, and he had seen on my resume that I went to school in Illinois. I believe that music's the most powerful art form, and it really can make us feel certain emotions at different times, or it can bring you back to like a certain spot in your life. And I like to listen to music at different times for different moods. For instance, I have certain music that I listen to around like dusk. If I want to go drive around, I'll listen to like Fleet Foxes, or Gregory Alan Isakov, or Andrew Bird, and it evokes a certain emotion in me, like almost like a nostalgic, conscious you know, emotion, almost like a sensory like boost, you know, like when I'm driving around in nature, if I'm hiking and listening to, you know, Iron to Wine. It's almost like I can feel and see the colors like more vividly, and I feel like I'm spiritually connected somehow listening to that type of music. So it's very important to me, and I think it's very important to us as human beings.